Finally, after months of hard work, my greatest creation is finally finished. And now, to test it. Papa, it's beautiful. And it's giving me an idea. An idea for another LRR MTG Deck Tech with me, Ben Ulmer. And me, Ben Ulmer. Go play Arena, you scamp. Daddy's working. We returned once again to the beloved plane of Dominaria, and all around you can see familiar faces that we've come to know and love over the past 3 years of Magic. But while temptation to create a new Commander deck with some of these old friends is enticing, Dominaria United also features tons of awesome new legendary creatures. Say hello to Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief, in a deck I'm calling Say Hello to My Little Friends. Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief, is a 2/1 fairy rogue with flying that reads, whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, you may copy that spell. The copy targets Ivy. Is your opponent pumping their creatures? They're also pumping Ivy. Are they swathing their minions in fancy auras? You get copies of them. Is someone casting a kill spell to destroy an opponent's big monster? You can also kill your commander for free, for some reason. Now that's powerful enough, but now imagine what if Ivy wasn't just your commander, but your whole board. Oh yes, this deck is all about creating multiple copies of Ivy, then pumping them up with all manner of goodies to bring flying death to your opponents. To start off, we need to make sure we can even have multiple copies of Ivy. Luckily, Mirror Gallery and Mirror Box both allow us to bypass that pesky rule that only allows you one copy of a legendary creature at a time, and as a bonus, Mirror Box also pumps your fairy army and makes the original Ivy huge. Since these cards are the key part of the strategy, the deck uses cards like Trophy Mage, Fabricate, and Whir of Invention to search them up. And once you've set up your House of Mirrors, you're gonna put Bitter Blossom and Una to shame with the number of fairies you'll create. Fated Infatuation, Rite of Replication, and both Crackling and Croaking Counterpart are all copy-creating staples that will very quickly start making a lot of extra Ivies, since each time you make a new copy, you have more and more Ivies that will also be copying that spell. And if you get down Vesuvan Duplimancy, the new enchantment that creates a token copy of a creature whenever you cast a spell that targets only a single one, you're creating... I'm really bad at math, so let's just say you're creating a problem. And don't worry if your opponents try to solve that problem by trashing your mirrors, since we have Archaeomender, Argivian Restoration, and Buried Ruin to get those bad boys back in the game. And cards like Arenicus's Vile Duplication, Spark Double, Double Major, and Helm of the Host to create token copies of Ivy that aren't legendary. Pro tip, if anyone tries to interrupt you as you're popping off, cards like Tamiyo's Blessing and Snakeskin Veil will keep your entire board safe for a single mana. You've got a bunch of fairies now. What do you do with those? Yeah, a bunch of 2/1s isn't gonna win you the game. I'm glad you asked, Mies. We're gonna pump Ivy full of slurp juice and... Wait a second, where did you come from? Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's fine. Where was I? Right, Ivy's gonna get swole. Because remember, Ivy doesn't just copy instants or sorceries, she also creates token copies of auras. This means cards like Citizen Training, Forced Adaptation, and the new Combat Research give you huge value. And if you want to just get real big, why not just enchant all of our Ivies with Colossification or Eldrazi Conscription? There's nothing like beating your opponent's face with +20 power fairies who all have Annihilator too. And don't worry about removal. Totem Armor cards like Octopus Umbra, Eel Umbra, and Bear Umbra not only make your fairies beefier, they protect you from those pesky board wipes. And with all these enchantments in the deck, you probably got a couple of cool Enchantress creatures in there too. Who are you? I'm Cool Ben. Wait, am I not cool? Wow, okay. Well, you know what is cool? Getting value off all these cool enchantment creatures. Heck yeah, dude! Card draw classics like Citizen Champion and Eidolon of Blossoms normally net you a ton of card advantage. And with Ivy making so many token auras, you're definitely gonna need a Thought Vessel and a Reliquary Tower to make sure none of that value goes straight to your bin. And since you're running all these enchantment cards, let's throw in Herald of the Pantheon to make your spells cheaper and gain you some life. And Sanctum Weaver to make sure you have enough mana to cast all those spells you're drawing. As you can see, Ivy's a sweet commander. Whether you're making a massive army or just copying spells for infinite value. And since you'll be copying your opponent's spells, every game's gonna be different. The possibilities are endless.